I lose time making boards. So it's a passion. Anything that I do with my hands and I can create something, I get lost in it, and then anything that I can lose track of time is a good thing for me, for sure. I just really enjoy starting with something raw and then having a finished product coming out of the end of it.
Back in 1985, Mike Meyer, he started making epoxy surfboards, epoxy boogie boards, all foam core, epoxy construction. He was one of the pioneers in building these boards, and then he started kind of shifting over towards the skimboard market. He was actually technically only one of 3 companies at the time when he first started out. So he kind of pioneered the whole epoxy movement, definitely helped to create the skimboard market. And right as things were starting to get really, really good, China kind of stepped in around the mid to late 90s. And basically it battered him really hard. He couldn't compete, and it took a huge blow to the Mike Meyer Skimboard Company. When my brother and I stepped into the picture, he had no more employees. It was just him left building skimboards. So in 2008, I went next door to his residence. His factory is right next door to his house, and I wanted to ask him to lease some space in his skimboard factory so I could house all my surfboards and stand-up paddleboards for the winter. And little did I know walking in that I'd be walking out with Mike Meyer skimboards later on in the conversation, due to the fact that Mike was the last man standing. He had just gotten diagnosed with spinal cancer, and he didn't have much time left, and so I told him, I was like, I would love to carry on the legacy, absolutely. And basically in the winter of 2008, we took over. There's nothing better to any of us here than building a board. Either we build it or we build it with another, with a kid or an adult, get them fired up on it, and then they come back and they're just blown away and they love it. I mean, that's why we do this. This is what we love, and it's what we want to continue to do.
I am terrified of the next tropical system we get. If we get any winds, 100 plus, I think it's going to go.
There's 3,500 square feet, of which maybe 1,500 of it's actually usable, that you don't have to worry about the roof leaking or potentially caving in on us. So how it's withstood, all the hurricanes and storms and rain, erosion, whatever you want to call it, since '85, I have no idea. I don't know how we're still there. The floors are so unlevel and uneven that we can't roll a cart from one room to the next. We have no climate control. As soon as you turn the air off, if it's 100 degrees outside, it becomes 100 degrees inside within just a matter of minutes. Anyway, yeah, so we want to have a factory that has smoother floors, climate controlled, laid out in a way that's more efficient, because currently our factory is set up to make skimboards. It's not set up to make all the different boards that we make right now, but we really want to have the ability to have the general public come in and see what we do. We want to show them how we work, how we do things, how we build things, and we want them to be able to come in and buy a skimboard right out of the factory. nothing more gratifying in the world than riding what you build. We build what we ride, and we ride what we build, and that's our passion. That's what we love to do, and that's what we want to pass on to everybody else.